Hey guys, welcome into the channel. So I can't wait for y'all to come in. I gotta get the story out because one, I know my mom's gonna be calling me in just a few seconds. But this strain that's out right now is they're saying it's different. It's not as aggressive in attacking at first when you get it, but first of all, let me back up. Welcome back to the channel. Please hit the like, share this video out, leave your comments down below. Thank you for coming in. But this strain that's out right now of Ebola is definitely different. They say that it's not attacking as harshly at first, and that's the scary part of that, is because you won't know. You will think it's something else. By the time it hits you, you will have been in contact with so many different people that you and them won't know what hit them. So France is now experiencing their first person to contract Ebola. It is a doctor who was treating patients in the Congo. And the doctor's infection is the first positive case of Ebola virus disease on national territory. The French Health Ministry confirmed this. They say they are now tracing contacts to see how he first contracted the disease, but warn that the risk to Europeans is low. But they don't know that. Because for one, they don't know who all he's been in contact with, and then who those people have been in contact with. At least 267 people have been killed so far, and a further 1,000 people have been infected by this rare strain. The virus was first detected on May 15th, but officials believe it has been spreading undetected since April. And this is what I'm talking about when I say it attacks differently than the other Ebolas back in the years past. The hardest hit regions are the gold mining towns, but the eye bleeding disease has also spilled into neighboring Uganda and infected several foreigners, including 6 American health workers have been infected with this Ebola. And the majority of them, if not all of them, are being treated somewhere else. I don't think they're being treated in the United States unless they've moved them. Officials have warned it could be the largest outbreak of the strain ever recorded. The WHO have said that the disease is highly contagious and spreads to humans from wild animals like fruit bats and monkeys. Now we have to remember who owns the WHO right now, and that person initials is BG. It can then jump between humans through body fluids like blood, feces, semen, vomit, contaminated surfaces. Symptoms include high fever, aches, fatigue, and sore throat. And this is the danger in that those symptoms are seemingly something else if you're just looking at it from the outside and not testing for Ebola. Later, patients can experience failed liver, kidney functions, and internal bleeding. So we're going to move over to this next part. Share it.
Worker who returned from a mission. Here's your Wednesday, June 24th Ebola news update. So France has confirmed its first imported Ebola case, a humanitarian worker who returned from a mission in Congo's transmission zone. The patient is in stable condition, isolated, and being treated at a specialized facility. French authorities have begun contact tracing and are monitoring all contacts for 21 days. Back in the Congo's health ministry has now reported 1,094 confirmed cases, 277 deaths, officially making this the second largest Ebola outbreak in history, behind only the devastating West Africa epidemic of 2014 and 2016.
And let me share this bit of information with you to give a better understanding of what we're dealing with this new form of Ebola. And I know a lot of people probably feel like, oh, that's happening over there. So was COVID. It was happening in another place. And where did it end up? Everywhere.
This form of Ebola may be milder, but that may not be a good thing. The Ebola outbreak that's spreading in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of the Congo could end up being one of the deadliest ever. One of the reasons for that could be the specific type of Ebola. I do want to emphasize that this is very early in the outbreak and these are early observations. There's very little data still, but I've been talking to doctors on the ground in the DRC, and what I'm hearing is that the symptoms seem to be perhaps a bit milder than the kinds of Ebola they've seen before. Typically, when someone has Ebola, they start with what doctors call dry symptoms: headache, body ache, fatigue, things that look like any general illness. Then it progresses to what are called wet symptoms: vomiting, diarrhea, again, could be mistaken for many other things. Eventually, though, blood vessels start to break down, organs start to break down, and people die of multi-organ failure. With this form of Ebola, it seems like more people may be experiencing milder symptoms for longer, and maybe fewer are getting to the more severe stages of the disease. Having milder symptoms seems like a good thing, and it is a good thing for the individual, but that could actually make this outbreak deadlier in the long run. In a typical Ebola outbreak, when people get really sick, they get to a hospital more quickly and they separate from their family and their communities more quickly. If people are experiencing milder symptoms, they might take a lot longer to get to a medical center. And in that time, they're spending time with their family, they're spending time with their neighbors, they are spending time with their children. And that makes it that much more difficult to make sure that those people are separated from the community and that the virus is not still spreading. When people do get to a doctor, tests are still hard to come by. Just on the basis of symptoms, it's very hard for doctors to figure out exactly what somebody with these more generic symptoms might have. When you have people walking around with these kinds of symptoms, it's also harder for the community to really believe that there is a massive Ebola outbreak going on. They may not be seeing people die, these gruesome deaths that people associate with Ebola, and so it becomes harder to convince people to take the outbreak seriously and to protect themselves. If you remember from the COVID pandemic, we saw this kind of misinformation play out here too. In the initial days, people took COVID very seriously. But as we got vaccines and the symptoms became milder, it became harder and harder to convince people to take the pandemic seriously. There's so much we still don't know about this outbreak. Everyone is scrambling just to contain it, and there hasn't been enough time to really study it. But if these early observations that people are staying mildly ill for a longer period of time are really true, could mean that this outbreak runs on for a long time, and this could still end up being one of the deadliest in history. This form of Ebola may be milder, but that may not be a good thing. The Ebola outbreak that's spreading in the eastern part.
Thank y'all for coming in. I really do appreciate it. And I was about to type something in here, but I'm going to go ahead and just say it. Shout out, first of all, to Shatika, Lydia, Michelle. Thanks for coming in. And for Red Runner, whoever you are, bot or not, you need to understand the definition of clickbait. Clickbait means I give you a title and I don't even speak about anything that I'm talking about in the title. That's what clickbait is. But if you feel something is clickbait, then don't click on. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But thank y'all for coming in. I just want to do a quick video. This is like really the last day my mom's going to be here. So I already have a video set to come out later for you guys. And I probably won't be back on again today. So if you can hit that like button and help this video get more people, I really appreciate it. Trying to get my mind right now. For some reason, it's just a little bit off, but my mom leaves tomorrow and I want to spend some time with her today. And of course, get back out into my pool and try to get that thing together because it's going to be a hot summer. It's going to be a hot summer, y'all. So y'all stay prepared, get prepared if you're not preparing, And thanks again for coming in. Hey, David, how are you? Hey, Marty, good morning. And I'm gonna have to, I don't know, drink some coffee or something, because I don't know where my mind is all over the place for some reason. I mean, the enemy is something else. Thank you, Lydia. I appreciate you hitting that like button.